Alright, hello Miss Sonia and Mr. Hafiz. So today we from Group 3, me, Wilmer, Quadivan, and Darren Maverick, we want to presentate our paper which titled Exploring the User Experience of Mixed Reality. So we're going to talk about MR, mixed reality, which is a mix of AR and VR. So probably not a lot of person really know what MR is. So we would like to go on a deep dive about MR on this paper. So for the introduction, in recent year, we see that mixed reality device it's not always Apple Vision Pro because Apple Vision Pro is like released in it's not really that long ago, probably like in 2023. But I'm talking about like the old MR device like the Oculus Rift and then like the Meta Quest, the new Meta Quest that is MR because the old Meta Quest is not MR like that. So it's been like kind of a boom. People start to use MR not only for entertainment, but they start to look at the potential for productivity stuff like that.
Alright, moving on to the objective. So our paper's objective is to dissect and analyze the multifaceted nature of user interactions within mixed reality settings. So before we knew what our objectives were, we needed to know what metrics do we actually use to measure the user experience, because user experience is highly subjective. So we needed some data. What data can we use to conclude the subjectiveness? So we delve into the cognitive, emotional, and usability aspects that we collectively contribute to the overall user experience. Now, the approach that we use the holistic approach, which combines the insight from user-centered design, technological advancement, and cognitive psychology. So, those metrics cannot be scored like it. It can conclude a single unit of score. It must be interconnected. So that's why we use a holistic approach, because we know that those metrics are not by themselves. They are interconnected each other. Okay, next, this exploration encompasses the challenges, opportunities, and potential breakthroughs that shape the landscape of mixed reality user experience. So basically, our objective is to dissect and analyze the how the design of the mixed reality actually affects the user experience. So that's basically it. All right, next, moving on to methodology. In methodology, we use two different methods, which is the first, the quantitative and qualitative. For the quantitative, we use survey, and the qualitative, we use literature review. So for the survey, how did we collect the data? Firstly, we narrow down the scope of the participants, which we narrow it down to people who only use VR, AR, and mixed reality. So why did we do this? Because we know that people with the general perspective isn't going to know how it feels like. They aren't going to know how user experiences work, and maybe they don't know the design of the AR or VR. So we narrow down the scope to a larger sample of participants which actually use VR, AR, or MR. Alright, the survey is designed to assess user satisfaction, perceived usability, emotional responses in different MR contexts. Literature review. So in this literature review, we've found like 20 papers, and we compare our paper to those 20 papers. And the use of the literature review is to actually know if the survey data actually matches the those papers. So if some of those matches, then we can actually use and confirm the data that we are going to place in our paper. And other than that, we also use the other papers to compare the data to ours. So if it is maybe half of the papers are correct, then we may consider to use those data. If it is wrong, maybe we want to skip, or we want to reassess the data again to be used.
Alright, moving on to result. For the survey, we got all of this data which is shown here in the table and in the diagrams. So as you can see, we have a table of like what user really expect or what user really wants around the aspect of user experience. And then we have on the right is the data of some question that we find interesting, that we ask on purpose like that. So as we can see for the result, most people agree on two significant things, which is like emotional engagement and other theory like usability. Does usability have some impact with accessibility, like productivity and stuff like that? We include some of the table here, and these are the more like, do you agree or strongly agree? And this represent like the number of people who answer or choose, who like strongly agree, who is not really agree, and stuff like that. So we do this kind of survey, and we don't only do survey alone. We also back it up with literature review. So for the literature review, we do some deep dive on existing paper research done on similar topic, which also talk about user experience in general. But we also do some literature review on paper that really talk about mixed reality, like that. All right, moving on to conclusion and acknowledgement. So we have explored like all the landscape and the theory that backs up mixed reality, and we know the importance from the introduction and stuff. So we know that this is a very, it's like a research that will be important in the near future. All right, so for the acknowledgement, we would like to thanks Miss Sonia and Mr. Hafiz, which helps developing this paper, and also my teammates there, Maverick. So Miss and Mr. So helped a lot in this paper, reviewing our paper. That's our acknowledgement. Yeah, I guess that's all our research poster. Thank you for watching.